What up, what up, what up? It's your boy. I'm back. And we're going to play some more Stanley Parable. Because I'm not going to lie, it was a lot of fun. I truly did enjoy it.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427.
Nothing was as good as that other intro we did, though, the earlier one today. Hot fire. It lined up perfect with the North Side Rye.
How long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. You
know what we could do that I thought of?
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong.
3 so far.
Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Achievements. Alright, that should work out. We've got 3 achievements so far as we go through. Let's double check that it held our setting. Yeah, so we have no reason to press control.
All of his coworkers were gone. What could it... Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition. I have to say I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly.
He doesn't think it's enough, but we'll get it. It's enough. It's always enough.
No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley.
Yeah, it says 5 clicks, but I knew it wouldn't be.
All the way, no matter what the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
417. Okay. Over there we go. 417.
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
437, so I'll be back this way. He's really just sending me on a wild goose chase because he's a dick.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
415.
Now, back to door number 437.
This is ridiculous. I should have known it wasn't just going to be 5 clicks. Like, I should have known. 37, that's this
Let's
one.
see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine.
The copy machine. Where's it at?
All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
All right. Back to 417.
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk. Yes! This is great! You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416. We've almost got it!
This is so
now
ridiculous.
Now the copy machine, do that one again!
should have known. You know, I should have known.
Finish it off, Stanley. 5 clicks on door 430. Yes! We
There it
did
is.
it! Oh, wow.
He finally had his moment.
Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today.
Yeah, okay.
Just think, only a few minutes ago, you believed an achievement was worth 5 little clicks. Really now?
I believe that's 4, so we're actually at 4. There we go. Alright. Our next one that we're going to hunt for just in general, I believe, will be complete the Stanley Parable. So just go through generic, and then we will try the speed run one after and see how we do. So we just got to play the regular old Stanley Parable.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Jesus. Sorry, I had to mute you guys there. I had a vicious sneeze. And I'm a loud sneezer.
Person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office.
Do not alter without consulting whiteboard manager. Rip Franz. Or Franz. I think that's a pretty solid picture. We already did our broom closet thing, but we'll open it just to piss him off.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Because the boss knows that the boss... What the boss says goes, if the boss suffered loss. Cryptic.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
All right.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Or escape. creepy, yo.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold?
Jesus,
Stanley
Murphy.
thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life,
Oh.
their true nature revealed. Each
Where
bore the
am I?
number of an
427.
employee in the building,
Where's my desk?
Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Where freedom meant nothing. What now? We got the nose on there. Oh, I got an extra platform to go.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true.
Fired.
Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Good lord. It's just like, honestly, the depth in which they put into this game, like all the different rooms and like, you know, shit like this, like that shit's crazy.
No, he refused to believe it.
He
He couldn't
refused.
accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Jesus.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
I would dismantle the controls once and for all. Okay. Down in there. Okay, so there's a button up top there. Okay, there's buttons all over the place, so I'm guessing I gotta hit them in order. Alright, let's go figure that one out first. Five. Okay. That's probably okay. 3. Four's probably the fucking one up there. How the fuck do I get to that? Okay, so where's 4 then? I'm obviously just missing 4. It's 3. Don't get it. I really think it's upstairs there. Big red button there. Big Boom Hype, what up, Colin? Okay, well, I don't know where 4 is. That's really gonna bug the hell out of me. red button does nothing. But where? So if that's 1 and 2, and then 3's over there, then where the fuck is 4? You know, like, the only answer is up there, but how do I get past the gate? Maybe that's like after. Maybe I'm trying to get ahead of myself. Sarah's gonna try to join the live stream, I think. Nice. Sick. I'm into that. I'm into that.
And when at last he found the source of the room,
Sarah without an H has arrived. What up?
to put an end to this horrible place and to everything.
How's it going, Sarah without an H? Welcome to stream. We're playing the Stanley Parable, and I think I accidentally just gave myself an extra achievement that we didn't do. Right? It's actually pretty fun. Mind control status. Well, let's go on. Why not?
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much.
I want to try and read what that code is over in the
Let
corner.
it go. Turn the controls off and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better
Take the
than
purple.
that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode.
Nuclear detonators.
Complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes. Now
2
this is
minutes.
making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine.
No, I'm just gonna
You
keep.
are the
Come on,
star.
off.
It's your
Off.
story now. Shape it to your heart's
Shit.
desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What
I'd be a
shame we
big
have so
giant.
little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them.
Welcome to stream, Sarah with an H. Without an H, sorry. How many achievements do you have left to find? There's 11, but 2 of them are like ridiculous achievements that take like, one takes 4 years and one takes 10 years. Like legitimately takes 4 years and 10 years.
You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what
Yeah, here, hold on, let me pull it back up and I'll actually like,
Of course, that was merely in this instance.
I'll make sure I read it word for word here.
I simply let you sit there in your office room,
Excuse me.
pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone.
So the 2 that I think will be extremely hard to complete are Super Go Outside, which is don't play the Stanley Parable for 10 years. And then Commitment, which is play the Stanley Parable for the entire duration of a
Try to
Tuesday.
make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you. I almost hate to see it go.
So
But I'm sure whatever
those 2
happens
we're not going to count.
round will be even better.
Yeah, it's a little bit aggressive.
Only 34 minutes left, but I'm enjoying this so much. You know what?
About a 6 out of 10.
I'm going to put some extra.
But there are some other ones. Some extra time on the clock.
Additional seconds, Stanley. Time.
Excuse me. But yeah, so we just got basically 2, 4, 5 other ones to get.
Right now.
It's not bad.
Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning you on? I mean, look at you. Running from button to
Tony
button,
Baloney'd, that's
screen
right.
to screen, taking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons. No, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red
Oh
button.
shit, I honestly thought that door closed behind me.
Anything.
Fuck's
Something
sakes.
here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley?
Bruh.
That this video game can be beaten? Won? Sold? Do you have any idea?
But if
what
that
your
opened the
purpose in
gate,
this place is?
and it fucking did. Oh my god. I'm just standing there like a dumbass.
You're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you.
Right? It is an absolute sheesh moment.
You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless.
Oh, we got 43 seconds. I think we can make that.
This is not a challenge.
This one's definitely number 4.
You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first. So
No, we're gonna make it. Fuck that guy. We're gonna make it.
take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds
The
you
pizza
have
party
left to
check-in.
start. 30 seconds until
Thank
a
you,
big
thank you.
boom and then nothing. No ending here. Just you being blown to pieces.
Oh
Will you
shit.
cling desperately to your frail life? Or will you let it go peacefully?
So nothing happened with the 5. Good news, good news.
Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me. All a part of the joke. And believe
Console
me, I
disabled.
will be laughing at every second of your inevitable
no.
life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say happily ever up.
Also, you can't hear the narrator over the NSR. It's like Discord soundboard, but that one doesn't work. Oh, okay, yeah, sorry, I see what you're saying. But okay, if you can't hear the narrator, that means we gotta bring the north side ride down. So, let's pull that back up. I think that's bringing it down. Alright, we'll see how that works. I'm not gonna lie, it all got a little bit reckless there at the end.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to
Keep
the
accidentally hitting
Perhaps
shift.
he had sent Mr. Memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door.
So,
on
but
his
we
left.
went through and we already did that, so let's go back
was
this
not
way.
the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee.
How is it now,
lounge
Colin?
first,
Can you actually
just
hear
to admire
the
it.
narrator now?
Yes, truly a room worth admiring, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following.
Yeah, we can throw the subtitles on for sure. Show subtitles.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Oh man, gotta love Sunnies.
Directions. It's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
So last time we did the jump over there, and that's the fucking baby one. I thought for sure I'd get an achievement for waiting in the janitor closet for like 20 minutes, but nothing happened. Yeah, we did that earlier. I was like, what is the point of this? It's just for the bit.
Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself.
We also got the one where it's the baby, and it's like, oh yeah, do this for 4 hours, and like you'll get like an ending.
To redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to
What's
let
up here?
her back into your life. She's been waiting.
She's been waiting. Yeah, we did try to speed run the cargo lift death, and no. Yeah, we were off by like what, about 6 seconds, which like I'm sure is somewhere on the leaderboard, but I don't like how dark that room is. It just looks like a void. Oh, there we go.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Hold on, I gotta get that fucking screenshot. That's a great thumbnail screenshot. Gotta always think ahead. Oh.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven.
Pulling the bread out of the oven.
Right. Okay, there we go. Alright now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife? Did want to commit their life to you?
Sad
I'm trying to
Stanley.
make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside.
What am I
Let
seeing?
me show you what's really going on here. This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Uh-oh.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
This is the sequel of the game, but
Look at him there, pushing
it's
buttons,
apparently if you
doing
play it
exactly
like
what he's
a certain
told
way,
to
you
do.
can get like the
Now
original
he's
way,
pushing a button.
like the original
Now
game,
he's
but there's a
eating
whole
lunch.
bunch of extras.
Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
At least that's
In
what
his
I'm told.
mind, in his mind, he can go on.
I never actually
fantastic
played the first game.
From behind his desk,
And this
Stanley
one was on
dreamed
sale,
of
so I
wild
bought it.
expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to
I am
fantasize
Stanley.
about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Press Y to spend time with the boys.
So, even further, he imagined
Yeah,
that he
we'll
came
press
to
Y for
two
that.
open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even
Press
mattered
Y to
what
spend
lay
time with the
behind
boys.
each door.
I haven't even been reading them really. It just pops up and I hit the button, you know?
Something was almost
That's
too
funny.
wonderful to behold.
Press N to prepare dinner.
As he wandered through
Oh.
this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations.
Okay.
Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another
Was a yellow line trademark. Like,
the Stanley
a little
Parable.
trademark up there. That's hilarious. Press Q to tell your kids a story.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head, he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might
I just don't know
always
what's the
feel
actual
this way.
ending of the game, you know?
Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Just one more time. Press G to tell your wife you love her.
But there is no answer.
Oh,
How could there
my
possibly
wife's not real.
be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets. The more he forgets which life is the real one.
Press V to go to sleep.
And I'm trying to tell him this. That in this world,
Still
he
can't
can
jump.
never be anything but an observer.
Teabag though.
But as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here,
I won't
watch
stop.
this.
I'll never stop.
Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Alright, fine. I won't. Thank you for the follow. I don't know why we didn't get the notification for that, so that's some bullshit. I'll have to look into that. Let's take a quick note of that.
That's the way she goes. That's the way she goes? That's right. That's the way she
That
goes.
is the way
That's what I
she
said.
goes. That is a perfect use of that. That is the way she goes. But thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate the shit out of it. Again, I keep fucking hitting my my button to go back. See, he really wants me to fucking do the R. I guess I have to if I want to progress.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Press Y to question nothing.
I suppose I can't.
Question
Not in the way
nothing.
I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley.
The same as Stanley.
Not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must.
I must.
Perhaps, well, maybe this
Times
time
it on
we'll
that
see.
clock.
Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again.
Please
and
die.
Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Oh. Oh, okay. Jesus. The end is never the end.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Oh no, we
What
have
could
an
it
ad
mean?
break starting in 50
Stanley
seconds.
decided to go to the meeting room.
There's nothing I can
Perhaps
do
he'd
because I
simply
already
missed a
snoozed it.
memo.
Gotta hit door 420 though.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
I don't know nothing about these computers, but I know I keep finding ones that are on, so we're just gonna keep walking around hitting them.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Always cooking up fire with those
Yet
north
there
side
was not a
ride
single
beats.
person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Synergize. Shift global market. Okay. Ran right into the wall there.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but
We're
there
not
was
going
nothing
through that
there,
again.
so he turned around, coming to a
Okay, so
staircase.
let's go back
Stanley
down.
walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Wait. No, this is the one that never fucking ends. I don't want that one. It's not that it never ends, it does eventually end, but I wonder if there's a different method method I can get through over here.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it
was it?
mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation.
I don't even
His
remember what the
attention was
fuck it
caught by
is.
a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. So the boss had assigned it an extra secret pin number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code
By sheer luck.
Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
I feel like I had a choice somewhere down here. Welcome back, welcome back. It says we're on ad break, so welcome back. So we did go this way last
Stanley
time,
walked straight ahead through the
but
large
we're gonna
door
go down
that
the
led to
escape.
mind control facility.
Oh right, yeah. I forgot you got that that gifted sub from Parker. Out here slamming iced tea.
Although this passageway had the word escape
God, your
on it,
ears
the
off from
truth
your main
was
man.
that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Meet a violent death. Alright. Hit me with it. Oop.
The
Still
door
for
behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Nah.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Looks like a terrible hole to fall into. Fuck it. Okay.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise,
Oh shit.
he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this final return to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Shit. Oh.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated.
Who the fuck is
The
that?
machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Oh.
And yet it would be just a
I'm
few
scared to
minutes
keep walking
before Stanley
forward.
would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Wanted to see if those
When
letters were
every
3D. I know it's a
task
stupid
has been
thing to look
created
at,
for you
but
long in advance, this becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do
where
you
the
see?
fuck are we now?
Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
There's my desk. Interesting. And then the left door and the right door. Can't go up there? Make it up steps all the fucking time, bro. They're not even wired up. So I guess this is like one of the proper endings, because I actually have like credits. Boss's office. Oh, these were like different models of it? That's cool. What else we got around here? I love this kind of shit. Like, there's always a different, as long as you go a different way, there's always something different going on. The mind control facility.
Where were all of his co-workers? Oh, I don't know. How about
Right.
they're throwing a surprise party for him for all his button pushing? Does that sound plausible to you?
Like, it's non-stop. It's just, it's so crazy. Like, a little bit of everything. Something for everyone. I was gonna play something different, and Colin asked me if I was gonna play the Stanley Parable, because I had played it earlier. And then I thought about it. I was like, you know what? I'm down. Like, I actually had a lot of fun playing it. Oop. What? No, no, no. Come on, come back. Come back. I want to play. No, I know. It's definitely a good game. No, come back. I want to play. Damn. Lame. Freedom ending. Freedom ending that existed in the beta. Downtown room. Oh. Okay, good to know there's the exit there. I really like this where you can actually like go around and see like the stuff as they developed it. I don't know of any other game that includes something like this. Different variations of Room 427. Like, as someone who, I mean, I've never made a game, but I've definitely like done my share of development through like coding and programming and shit like that. And like, it's so cool to see all this kind of stuff included. It shows that the developer actually had like a good time making it, and like, you know, hopes that you had fun playing it. This ending, which was eventually cut and merged with another part of the game. Trailers. Released in, the first teaser was released in May 2012. Wow. And that he's repairing a new version. That's so cool. Alright, let's go to that exit room. Oh, nice. We just keep finding more rooms. Maintenance. Oh, okay, so some... Oh. Alright, there's action in the fucking... Interesting, there's action in the lounge that we haven't seen. Apartment timer. If you didn't pick up the phone within 15 seconds, it'd give you a different ending. Holy fuck. Now it's a matter of trying to find that goddamn exit room again. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes
Perhaps
these things
not.
cannot be seen.
Oh.
But listen to me. You can still save those two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
I'll let time choose for me. It's hard to say, because like, it's one of those things where like, you might have to... Oh yeah, Big Dead. But I think it's one of those things where like, you may have to actually follow exactly what they say, like, you know, back out of the game exactly when they want.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Like, she told me to leave, I should have.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
We're gonna go check out the fucking... That door was not there originally.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
Always like a door labeled new content. Because we would have gone into the new content door if I had seen it any time earlier. That's why I do not believe that it was there.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers.
On home computers.
Receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in
Not on work
2022
computers.
with
You
the
can't play it
Stanley
on work
Parable
computers.
Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley
It's
Parable,
kind of like it's
delighting
injecting
audiences the
content.
world
I like
over.
that.
Please
Income
step inside and see
IBM.
what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Tasty treats? Are we the tasty
We're the
treats?
tasty treats in this scenario. Yes, we're the tasty treats. They're gonna take us out into the open ocean. They're gonna have their way with us, Mac. We gotta get the hell out of here.
Are we the tasty treats? What's that mug say? 1951. Damn.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
So you like Sunnies as well.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or oh, there we go. All right.
Oh, we're
finally,
going
at
up.
long last,
Okay.
It's on to the new
Very
content.
good, very
I've
good.
never been more ready. Let's do it.
Let's go up.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if
It's elevator ride
let's see the
simulator.
content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Give me the content. Ooh, jump circle.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Look at that. New content, the jump circle. Fuck yeah. Alright, what happens when I deplete my jumps? Super exciting. That's super new content. Alright, we gotta get like Van Halen's jump.
Gore!
I can't jump outside the circle. There is a way to do it that's like cheating and like, you know, like cheesing the game. But, you know, we're not trying to do that. We're trying to do this the normal way. Oh, you're just gonna tell me I'm straight out of jumps? How dare you limit my jumps, like truly limit them?
Is that it?
Is that it?
Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
Well, back into the elevator we go.
Goodness, another elevator. Stanley, I have
Yes,
to say,
Elevator Simulator.
initial impressions of
Best
this
game.
I'll have 2 number 9s, a number 9 large, a number 6 with extra dip, a number 7, 2 number 45s, 1 with cheese, and a large soda.
And I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20
All about
hours
Big
of
Smoke's
new content
order.
right there. Hell, I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Now with over 1,000 hours of new content.
And oh wait, there's more.
Oh.
Very good. Yeah.
I hate when elevators
I
do
knew
that,
there
like
had
just
to be
in
something
even in real
else.
life where
Let's
like you're
see.
standing, you get
I'm
in,
ready for whatever
and like
it
by
is.
habit you turn around to look at the door. So then you push the button and all of a sudden the door behind you open. I don't like that shit. Happens a lot at hospitals. Thank you for enjoying
That's
the new
it?
content.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
You're
You see,
fucking with
Stanley?
me.
This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore."
It really
What
does.
quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault.
Wonder if that
Stanley.
means I'll get
I
that
built up
achievement.
too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no
gimmicks.
gimmicks.
Okay.
Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
You say, friend. Let's do it, bro. Oh. That's not my office. Oh.
Stanley, come over here.
Shit.
In the vent. I want to show you something.
Vent boys now.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
Oh, he's got another copy machine. Fuck yeah. Oh.
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
The Memory Zone.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the
Zone Sweet
remind you of
Zone.
how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013 when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Every time I see a clock now, I just check it because it had me reset the time like fucking 14 times. Ridiculous. Just me sitting at my desk. That's weird. Buy on Steam. Using Mozilla too. Look at that on the Mozilla Firefox startup page. Beautiful. Good times. Showing all the places. Good times. I really like all this fucking shit they just got laying around. It's cool. Solid screenshot as well. Get lots of screenshots of this game, you know? Because you never know what'll be good for a thumbnail. New video game releasing today. Creator surprisingly down to earth. Oh damn, that's a hard bush. Alright. Oh.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created.
Did you hear that,
That's
Stanley?
how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing.
It was Skyrim.
It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new
Elevator content. Love it. I love the hour of new elevator content. Oh, we got a new door. Okay. The portal room. Okay. Memory zone maintenance. Come on, bro. Let me in the maintenance room. The tasteful nostalgic. That's Stanley right there. Person of the year.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable.
This guy's literally got them printed out and put up on his fucking walls.
Choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding
The fucking
choices
balls.
I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
Dom's famous repeatable carpet textures. Ready for your game content. Interesting. Serious room. Not allowed to be in there and be serious anymore.
These were simpler times, Stanley.
Yeah.
I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
Ooh.
Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they? Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny!
Unfunny.
I'm trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely laid...
Boo! Boo, Wendy! Boo, Wendy Taste Burger, boo!
Right? I think it's a good game. I'm enjoying it. I'm not going to ask for a refund of it, that's for sure. I'm having a good time. I mean, I think I'm over the 2 hours anyways, but even if I wasn't...
Let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets
Bad
annoying
game.
fast.
Skyrim is good game.
Stanley, I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy, honestly. Goodness, this is actually quite shocking for me.
This is quite shocking.
To be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it...
You know how much fluff I cut from the game.
Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on
You're
my
shocked that
otherwise
people give it a thumbs down?
track record. I feel...
I mean, I get that some people wouldn't like the repetition of it. But I like the difference, right? Like, there's all kinds of different stuff you can do. That's why I think it's cool. Like, I don't know of any game that has this many, like, different endings or, like, different areas that you can explore, right? Skyrim is a good game. Yes, Skyrim is a good game.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button.
A skip button. 9.8 hours on record, too.
I can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable.
Jesus.
That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto.
The fuck is that?
Anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Alright. Oh, there's the skip button.
And here
Okay.
it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No, 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 no.
I'm gonna let him ramble a little bit.
It's a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once. So now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet. No, no, until 200.
All right, there you go. Fine.
You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations.
It was one of my more profound ones.
Of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very... Well there,
Yeah.
sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit. But that's the power of the button.
The son of a
minute I
bitch.
start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll
Cookie
edit
9.
the rating of their Steam review, or at
they
least
won't.
change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on exactly how Steam works. Perhaps that would have been the smart thing to check on before I went about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work...
He's just gonna keep going,
whoever
too.
it
I
is
know
runs
this.
Steam will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review, merely because of this very situation. Yes, I think that's quite likely. Or perhaps they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change their review, so that the
Why
feature
would
is
they?
not widely abused. Look, I would even be okay. Okay, welcome back,
Motherfucker,
Stanley. Now, I
like-
should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes?
I'm trying to watch that clock over there to see.
Unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye. Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there.
But
I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're
that's
really,
not 12
truly
hours.
getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone.
Oh.
I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times.
Shit.
And there's no door, Stanley. No door. There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have... Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks.
I'm scared to see what I'm gonna come back to.
Hello, it's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time.
That's so much
I
time.
stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one
After a
place
year.
on a roof for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is
I'm just here by myself. What is that? Yeah, no worries.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us.
What is this world?
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
Jesus. What a world to be stuck in. Oh. Oh, we've had some damage. Curious to see if it was still ticking while it was on the floor. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh. Curious as to how far into the future I've gone. It's just getting worse and worse. Oh, there we go. Big old hole in the wall. I can push it again. What even is this fucking place? Like, come on, I can't Skyrim my way up that. Where do I go? What do? What do now? Oh, can't walk on top or do nothing cool over there.
Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were. Just a matter of time.
New content, okay.
Oh good, you noticed my sign.
You noticed my
I have
sign.
something very exciting to show you.
Beautiful sign. We're gonna check out the extra new content, the new content.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this Ultra Deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and
Was a
anyone
landmark?
for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this Ultra Deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh.
Yes, you see,
The end is never the end again.
With a few minor additions, think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel, an entirely new experience.
Investor
built from the
showcase.
ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for. Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation.
It screams
and long-term
progress.
franchising potential. Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a
Valued
look at some of the
investors.
features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical. Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
New feature, the reassurance bucket. Where do we get a bucket? Up there? Oh shit.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's
The reassurance bucket.
As long as you hold onto the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try. Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the
I feel like it's made you more attractive.
All this and more awaits you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Nice. Got
Does
my
anyone
bucket.
give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already. For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Jim. Isn't that... Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. Jim. Whoa, hold on. I wasn't finished setting up the backstory. If you don't properly roleplay as Jim, then you'll never understand the impact of this button. Otherwise, it's just a stupid button that says somebody else's name. Okay, we're doing it again, and this time let me finish.
Alright, I'll let you finish first. I need that fast forward
Now,
button again.
Allow yourself to become Jim. Imagine
I am
yourself
Jim.
driving
I am
to
Jim
work as
Leahy.
Jim, playing frisbee on the weekends as Jim, staying up all night for a popcorn and horror movie sleepover as Jim, developing a crippling substance addiction as Jim,
Absolutely.
rediscovering yourself through fringe religious groups as Jim, and finally dying a slow death at an old age, surrounded by members of your
cult as Jim. Okay.
Do you feel it in your soul? Are you really, truly Jim right now?
Jim.
All right, fine, whatever. It's just a meaningless button that says Jim. Are you happy now? Get out of here. I'm done with this button. Why don't you go humiliate me in front of a different feature that I worked very hard on?
Jim.
See, if you'd only
Jim.
played along,
Jim.
that would have been
Jim.
your name the button says,
Jim.
but no.
Jim.
Instead, oh,
Jim.
I can't even think about it. I'm taking the Jim button away.
No, don't take the Jim button away.
Jim.
What a dick. Jim, right? Not Jim. He took Jim away. Oh, what a guy. Are you just gonna take away my Jim? Alright, no more Jim button for us.
Maybe I'll only let people named Jim play the Stanley Parable 2. An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
New free and easy achievement. Interesting. It just works. Pull the lever, receive your achievement. No more
Now,
steps.
here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be... Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Gotta be a way. It's 2 times he's talked about that test achievement. Gotta be something I'm missing. Interesting. Can't believe he took Jim away from us like that, though. So rude.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet? You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle?
Did.
Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then.
Come on, you're not gonna give me, like, one more jump, even? What if I just stand in the circle for a sec? Will you give me a jump? What a guy. A little merch store. Missed the stairs.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic
You'll
joy
get
of
nothing
watching a
for
number
collecting
go up.
them all.
You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Okay.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Okay, the infinity hole. So we want to go this Q. Free achievement. What's that way? Oh, duh. I could have just fucking looked up. That Jim from The Office? I don't think so. It's allegedly Stanley. Please, no screenshots. That's funny.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is
Bucket makes me feel safe.
A pool that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium. You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop
yeah,
back
weren't
up
you
to
supposed
the
to
top,
bring
and
the
we can
bucket
continue onward.
last? That wonder. Yeah, there was the one.
Now, I don't mean to
Like, there was one
but I do
sign that
recommend
said
you
no
use the
buckets
teleport
past this
button to
point,
go back to the top.
which I thought was pretty
We
funny.
do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Let's see how long we can really fall. It says it's an infinity hole.
Okay, Stanley. I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishing.
But did you take the bucket past that sign?
Is it
No, because I
infinite?
don't think I can get back
That
there.
sort of depends on your definition
I
of
wonder if I'm
infinity.
gonna...
From one perspective,
Yeah, that's what I'm
the
wondering.
infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a...
Oh.
Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're...
Oh.
Oh, the problem.
Just the two of us, we can make it if we try. It's it's lyrics for just the two of us. We can make it if we try. That's so fucking funny.
Just put all this behind us and agree to just call
Get the fuck out of here.
If that works for you,
Oh, fuck me, that's funny.
to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be
Alright, let's read that one too.
up here when you're ready.
Management to everyone. BCC me. Meeting at 2 p.m. Sincerely, management. Not as good as the other, just the two of us. What if I don't want to go back to the surface, though?
Great.
Okay.
Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
So jump back down the hole again. What else you got for the sequel, bro? I thought you showed me everything. Hole, depth, space, infinity, more hole, science. For educational use only. Alright, we're gonna try and leave with our bucket.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
Unattended bag. Unattended bag. Sketchy. I'm the only person in this facility. How's there an unattended bag?
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience.
Because they're just saying they don't want you to like, you know how they say like no flash photography kind of thing. At least that's what I'm guessing.
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on, let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
It still looks like
Who
shit.
am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to
It's funny, he rounded the jump circle and the infinity
hole.
hole.
The first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course.
Just
with respect,
insert
with
them
care for the vision and integrity
gently
of the
and
original
carefully.
game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, this is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Oh. Now that's a screenshot for the second one. Excuse me. That's funny.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was...
We've seen that 100 times. It looks like my office.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
You know, on like Windows 95, when you get the Windows performed an illegal operation, it must shut down. That's the... Yeah. It was weird for that to be there. My
Stanley
bucket!
Picked up the bucket.
Always need my bucket, my safety bucket. See, that was the new content door, so no more new content.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
No problem. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for being here. Thanks for the follow, Sarah without an H. I hope you have a great night. And, you know, I hope you can come back and enjoy some more streams.
But Stanley had felt
Thanks
the
for being
bucket
here.
calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
To the employee lounge we go.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was.
Had the bucket been
How
correct?
insightful the bucket turned out to be. No, never mind.
The bucket was wrong.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
I was gonna say, I don't know if we ever actually went through this door on the left. But now that we have the bucket, I want to go past the sign that says no buckets.
No, said the bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good,
said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Good, said the bucket.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever
Firmly
the
convinced.
bucket asked.
In here,
said the bucket.
go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Now pick up the phone.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Where's my bucket? Decided to take me to work with you.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head. Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say
Bucket
something to
life.
him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
Take the bucket back to work with me.
I'll try anyway.
I feel like this is going to be
Stanley,
the ending here, is
can
where
you
I'm just
hear
going to
me?
go back and
Listen
forth
to
with the
me.
bucket.
It's just a bucket. It can't think. It can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else. You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his
Awful bucket.
This stupid hunk of metal.
Love it. It's honestly so fun. It's so funny. Press U to ignore anyone in your life except for me. Bucket life,
Sad,
bro.
I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
It does. They did a good job making the bucket look good. Oh, you believe I'm real, don't you, Stanley? Press O to go back home.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
To relive this same day with me over and over and over.
Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why, I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket.
Just a lot of go home with the bucket, go back to work with the bucket.
I'm having feelings for the bucket.
Oh.
No. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes. The bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation.
This is ridiculous.
Stanley, give me the bucket. Give
No.
it to me. Give me
No.
the bucket, Stanley.
No.
I need it. Give it to me now. Give it or I'll...
He came through and stole my bucket. Go back to work, Stanley. What your boss says after he catches you just fucking around all day. Go back to work, Stanley.
Already this was uncomfortable. And Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
My bucket.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better? No.
Had the bucket turned out to be correct?
Wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Oh, we're going downstairs with our bucket.
Oh, good, Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually. You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before.
But I love the bucket.
I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
Oh, that truck's gone.
Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
Ours isn't silly music, ours is hot fire, Northside
Now,
Rye.
this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
I'm not giving up the bucket, bro.
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer.
No.
I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me, it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready. Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The Broom Closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want.
Pushing
Hurry
the button, nothing's happening.
Bucket Destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such Spellbinding stories about you, all of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. That's the bucket destroyer. I want to see if I can find the other computer with the input. No.
Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken.
Yeah, I got one. I got one during this stream.
No, the orders were still missing. For now.
For now. Don't like how he said for now.
The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was coming to a staircase. Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
I love that it's Stanley in the bucket.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
By sheer luck.
The bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him?
The bucket was most certainly
this is
guiding
certainly
me.
the most logical explanation. You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
All right. 2 figurines down. As we head down.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
I like that at least it's different dialogue because I have the bucket.
And Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs.
Like guinea pigs?
I'd never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
The bucket nearly burst into tears. Bruh.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own
He
life
screamed
in someone
into the
else's
bucket.
control. Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
The bucket is my only friend.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would
shut that bitch off completely.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over?
Was it over?
Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze.
The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate.
Wanted to begin
the
watching
fuck out of
any
here.
movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and to... What? Wait. What was happening?
The door
Why
stopped.
had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No, no, no. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
It's never a good sign. Alright, and I think that's where we're going to call it. Want to thank you guys for hanging out. You know, spending your Saturday evening with me while we're out here playing this fucking ridiculous game. Oh, actually, let me show you this because this is pretty funny. So now this is my pause screen because we're still playing the sequel, right? So that's fun. But like I said, you know, I want to say thanks to you guys for hanging out. I'm sorry I had to bail earlier so rapidly. I wasn't feeling so hot, so you know, had to just get out and bail. But I'm back. I'm glad you guys could be here. You know, big shout out to Purple Patch, who gave us the follow earlier. You know, big shout out. Sarah without an H. And you know, to everyone else who's here, if you haven't followed me on my social medias, various social media, don't worry about Spotify. I was actually bang on with that. But yeah, man, I'm glad you guys could be here. I'm glad you guys could hang out. And you know, without my viewers, I ain't shit. So I appreciate you guys being here. Love you guys, and I hope you have a great night. Don't forget, all the music you heard is provided by Northside Rye. My boy makes fire beats. Check him out if you're looking for him. Have a great night, guys. Peace.
Bye.